Okay, here we are with the Shadow Mage expert level. Let's take a look at the new spells to begin with. So we got Iron Flesh for the extra armor rating, and Pull Through Shadows, which pulls targets from up to 150 feet away to the caster and reduces armor by 100 points for 17 seconds. So this does the exact same thing as Step Through Shadows, except it pulls one target to you instead of dashing you to that target. So it's nice to like pulling that first guy out of the way and taking him out. That was pretty useful for that. Then we've got Possession. Target up to level 40 refuses to die upon taking fatal damage within 52 seconds, fighting for the caster in a frenzy with 40% more attack damage. Now, I was able to capture that one mage, but she didn't really seem to do a whole lot. The AI seems a little bit messed up, and so she wasn't really taking me, it wasn't really taking on my enemies for me, but anyway, there you go. And what else? We've got Draining Shroud. Absorbs 27 points of health and magicka per second from nearby enemies for 60 seconds. So I have this on Akado's recital, so it automatically casts when I enter combat, which is really nice. I think I had to recast it once or twice there. But otherwise, it lasts for 60 seconds. That's the majority of fights, since enemies are usually kind of spread out a little bit in dungeons. Right, so let's take a look at my gear. So I was not able to use honed metal to improve my armor. Sadly, apparently it doesn't recognize anything from Divine Elegance, so that's not good. So my armor rating sucks, considering I'm wearing heavy armor. The extra little bit from the flesh spell is nice, but I probably could have just gone with robes, to be honest. Okay, so on my ring, I've got Fortify Magicka and Fortify One-Handed. On the chest piece, I've got Fortify Destruction and Fortify Magicka Regen. On the boots, we've got Shock and Fire Resistance. On the gauntlets, we've got Fortify Magicka, Fortify One-Handed. On the cloak, which you could use as a headpiece, I guess, if you want to use armor, like a helmet. We've got Fortify Health and Fortify Magicka Regen, and on the necklace, Fortify Alteration and Fortify Magicka. So altogether, that gives me 488 Magicka and 402 health. So we're doing pretty good there. And since we're on heavy armor, let's take a look at the perks for that. We've got Mastery. I'm trying to remember what I picked since. I think I got Break Upon Me, which makes us immune to all of these melee weapon perks. If wearing all heavy armor, you take 10% less damage from enemies affected by one or more of those perks. Born to Fight, I think I already had that. That's just reducing the weight. Face of Death, already had that. I got Rallying Standard just so that I could get Warbringer and Doombringer later on. Over here we got Defiance. You're trained to deflect incoming attacks while wearing all heavy armor. Whenever an enemy attacks you, you gain 15 points of armor rating for 10 seconds, and this effect stacks. And Revel in Battle does the same thing, but gives us more melee damage for 10 seconds. Bedrock. If wearing all heavy armor, you have 20% chance to brace for impact when attacked by an enemy, becoming immune to stagger for 4 seconds. And Never Kneel. If wearing all heavy armor, you take 30% less attack damage from power attacks, which is nice because those big heavy hits are ouchy. Even with our large health pool, our armor is terrible, so being able to resist some of that damage is really good. For One-Handed, I think all I got was the second point in Clash of Champions, and both points into crosscut to increase our attack power on power attacks. And then illusion, dumped lots of stuff into here. We got Kindred Mage, Fickle Fate, and Master of the Mind, basically increasing the power of our spells, of our illusion spells, and being able to affect undead, Daedra, and automatons. And also went with Imposing Presence, which increases the power of illusion spells and how long they last within enemies that are affected within 40 feet. Just got Wilting so that I could get to Terror. Those affected by a fear spell or effect within the radius of Imposing Presence drop their weapon. Now, I didn't actually use that in this case. I probably should have. But people were, like, dying faster than I could really fear them anyway. And I'm thinking I'll probably go ahead and get Soul Crusher. Absorbing more magic is always nice. And I think that's going to be pretty much it for the illusion tree. Conjuration, got a few more in here. Hollow burning, or hollow binding. Bound weapons cut through flesh and spirit, reducing magic resistance, which is really nice. So that should be boosting, hopefully. It should be boosting the effect of our Drain Shroud and the other thing, Draining Touch. It should make that more effective, at least assuming that it's affected by magic resistance. And Dark Whispers. Bound weapons induce a battle rage in their wielder, granting 20% extra attack damage and 100 points of armor rating for 5 seconds when a target is struck. So this is, I thought, yep, I definitely want that 100 points of extra armor rating because my armor is so bad. Destruction, didn't put anything else in there. And Alteration, I picked up the next thing in the Spellblade tree, which is Energy Royal. Whenever you cast a spell with one hand, it reduces the armor of nearby enemies within 10 feet by 150 points. Pretty nice. And also grabbed, I think it was health. I went with extra 50 points of health for Alter Self in attributes. And I think that is it. Thank you very much for joining me for this update for the expert. Next video will be the final build, and we will see just how crazy devastating this thing is going to be when we get Draining Mist, which just absorbs health and magicka from the void. Don't even need enemies around us. What else? We got Nightfall. A pool of darkness follows the caster around and grants all known Shadow Mage buffs. And what's the other one? I don't actually have it on my screen. It's off the page. Sorry, I don't know what it is offhand. Actually, we can... No, I can't look it up because I don't know what it's called. All right, well, we'll see in the next episode what that one's called. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. We'll see you in the next video.